The UK has suspended some arms sales to Israel, saying there's a risk of equipment being used to violate international law. We'll have more on that in a moment. But first, I'm joined by Efrat Machikawa. 5 members of her family were taken hostage. 4 have been released, but her uncle is still being held in Gaza. Thank you very much indeed for being with us. Can I just ask you how difficult it has been, especially the last few days, seeing the bodies of those 6 people returned after being found in the tunnel?
Thank you for having me. It felt on Sunday morning as if somebody drew us back in time to October 8th, when after a sleepless night, we woke up to a very difficult, unknown situation of that terrible, terrible attack. So Sunday, it felt as strong as it felt on October 8th. It was terrible. It's devastating. And it is mainly so because we know that all of them were alive. They survived. They stayed strong. As Hirsch's mom called him, stay strong. He did. And so did everybody else. And our dear Kamel Gat, everybody. And then they were murdered. And indeed, they were murdered by the monstrous terrorists of the Hamas. But it's sad to admit, but we have to face the truth. The target was signed by the announcements and the terrible strategy that our Prime Minister, Mr. Abandonment, is showing with his very wrong leadership.
Your uncle is still in captivity, taken by Hamas in October. 4 members of your family have been released. What do you want Benjamin Netanyahu and his government to do now?
I think it is time that Prime Minister Netanyahu will understand that his grace time is over. As a leader of a democracy, the only democracy in the Middle East, he has to act upon the values that we were brought upon, and that's life, striving for life, and taking responsibility. And we do not feel that he is taking responsibility. On the contrary, he is making excuses. He is taking the power into his hands. He doesn't give mandates to his professionals who are good people who can bring this deal to be sealed. But he is sacrificing on the account of his own problems of coalition and political survival, and he is giving up everything, including the lives of our beloved ones. And I hope, I really do hope, that the last days when everybody is out there in the street, our only way in democracy to protest, he will understand, and the coalition will understand, and the international friendships with the US and Qatar and Egypt will understand that he must be pushed to do the right thing. We elected one prime minister. Hamas, terrorists, and Sinwar are terrible, but we have nothing to do with them. We have to do with our elected prime minister, and he has the responsibility to bring everybody home.
I don't know if you've seen that the UK government has announced that it is going to limit some arms sales to Israel. Is that the kind of international pressure that you support? And please also do just tell us about your uncle and whether you've heard anything from him or of him at all.
Obviously, I think that Israel has the right to defend itself, and I am not sure, I just heard it on your news, of what is happening with the weapon, but I do think that the leaders of the world and the people, the good, honest leaders in Israel will know what to do, and I trust it will happen. And I am staying hopeful. I'm staying hopeful because I'm in the doing, and we're doing everything we can to push for the right thing, for the ceasefire and the release of everybody. We want all the living back, and of course the dead for burial, but the living should live. And so is Gadi. Gadi is the most wonderful man. You know, the one that you would see and you would like to be friends with. He is smart and he is kind. He is drawing everybody around him with his kindness. He has been all over the world, so he has stories from Papua New Guinea to Mexico, and he has been helping to save lives through innovation in agriculture and through the correct use of wastewater. He is a world asset. Really, he is a very famous person within his field, professional field. And the fact that he saved so many lives and now is a prisoner by the monsters of the Hamas in Gaza is heartbreaking. And so are all the rest of the people. Gadi has to come home. And I really do hope that he is strong in spirit and he will make it. And we will be able to very soon hug him. I am hopeful that things are now changing. Everybody is out on the street in Israel. We are not sleeping. We are out there everywhere. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of people are calling for the right thing to be done. And I hope that with the international coalition, our Prime Minister will understand that it's his duty. It is time to do the right thing and to bring them home. He has the responsibility. It has been almost a year, incredible, but almost a year has passed.
Efrat Machikawa, thank you very much indeed for talking to us, and we wish you and your family well, of course. And just to say that I know that your aunt and their daughter and two young daughters, aged only 3 and 5, were amongst those taken. Thankfully, they have now been released, but still one member of that family still being held.